Until then, I'm just going to keep rambling until the sound turns on. Do we think it's on? I'm going to guess it's on, because Ben gave me the thumbs up. Alright, welcome to Tantrum House Studio 3. That's one technical issue out of the way. Tonight, we are going to talk about some of our most anticipated games of 2019. So we have been doing a bunch of research. We have some favorites that we're excited about talking about. But let us know what games you guys are most interested in coming this year. And if you have friends who are publishers or designers, grab them, get them online. We'll do some chatting and talk about some of the cool stuff that's coming. We're going to jump in pretty much right now. Before we do that, though, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Academy Games. They're helping us to put these together and giving us some funds to be able to get the equipment and get our microphones turned on. So we're real glad to have them on board. Let's give a quick slide shot to them, and then we'll jump into our intro video, and then we'll be back and ready to go. I think your camera's back on, Ben. We'll master these live things sooner or later.
Of course.
Are we already past that? Nope, we're not. I can still see me making the motions in the background.
Looking forward to Machi Koro, the Legacy version. Yes, so they've been pretty tight-lipped about this. Not a lot of information, but I love the base game. And this will actually be a standalone game, so I said base game, doesn't really count. Anyway, it's going to be a standalone version, and I am excited to see what all goes into that, because I can just imagine, like, keeping some cards from round to round. How's it going to work? I don't know.
Oh,
is that an old comment? I don't know. We'll keep rolling.
All right. But
probably.
Yeah, so that's what I'm looking forward to. Yes. Machi Koro, the Legacy version. Oh, it does say there's going to be some twists, and it's going to be based on a Japanese tale. So, ooh. I don't know. It'll be fun. I love Legacy versions of games, so excited.
It'll be interesting to see what they do with that. I guess it'll be campaign and legacy. Can you have a legacy without a campaign?
No, yeah, I wonder how long it will be. Because, you know, a lot of, like, Pandemic Legacy, it was like 12 months.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
12 seems to be the popular one. Like, a lot of games do.
Get together once a month and game. I mean, we do it a lot more than that, but...
I feel like a legacy version of Machi Koro might be a little dangerous, at least for players like me, because I really liked the base game, but when the expansion was added on, I did not like what the game became.
Too many cards?
I felt like it ruined the game, like the
it does
interactions
change
and everything.
The strategy does change with the expansions. Like there was a lot. I don't know. It does. It changes the push and pull of how the game works.
Yeah. All right. So I'm interested in seeing how the legacy works. Not sure if I'm excited about it.
So Machi Koro Legacies for Katie. All right, Ryan.
I'm excited about Pegasus subtext from Pegasus Spiel. It is one of these games that you can play with a party. One person is the dealer, and they have a card with some words on it, and they pick a word, and then they shuffle cards and hand them out to all the other players, and then they will draw clues relating to the word that they picked, and they don't know which player has that word. They're trying to get just that player to guess the word without letting the other players guess. So I really like this mechanic of trying to get one person to guess something without cluing in everybody else. So it also has some really great looking artwork. The design on it looks really cool. So I thought, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Cool.
Interesting. That looks pretty slick. That concept sounds fun to me, so I don't know how it would play necessarily, but it seems like it's got
The design's really interesting. This game design.
Geometric-y script. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Cool. Yeah. Pretty cool.
And just having a good party game. Like, I feel like too many games these days are trying to get like deep. So
quit going deep.
So it'll be interesting to have a good party game again. Enjoyable at least. Will, what do you got?
One of the games that I was checking out is called Bosque. It looks super cool. I love the art coloring for it, the stylization. It actually kind of reminds me of the Parks game from Keymaster that we have been playing. It's got like a very nature feel to it. It also kind of looks like, what's the game with the trees in it?
Photosynthesis.
Yes.
That's exactly the game I thought of right away when I saw it, but it looks maybe cooler.
Yeah, I really love the color scheme. The components look really fun. I guess the gameplay for it, the designers are Daryl Andrews and Erica Boyaris. Sorry, apologize. It's like a 2 to 4 player game, and I guess the gist of it is that you've got 4 seasons that you're going through, and during the spring and summer you're growing your trees, and then during the fall the leaves fall off the trees and like fall in rotating swirling patterns or something.
Oh, interesting.
And you score based on where the leaves land. And I was actually talking to Daryl about it just a little bit, and he was saying he was inspired by, he was like driving with his wife or somebody, I don't remember who it was, driving somewhere, and saw leaves falling off of a tree and swirling around, and he was like, I want to make a game.
What?
Yeah. So he like put the whole base mechanics together really quick, and then he's been polishing it and refining it and working on it since then. But it seems really cool. I love the art style for it. It looks fun. It's got my interest peaked.
I feel like there should be yards in this game, and you get the most points if you get all the leaves in your neighbor's yard.
Like a bonus
Yeah.
mission.
So you know where the name came from?
I don't. You got info on that?
Yeah, I'm interested.
Yeah, I don't know. I should have looked that up.
It's not the Star Wars bounty hunter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's missing an S. But
Maybe in the comments people can guess what Bosque means and why.
It's probably like a type of tree I've never heard.
I'm sure that somebody's about to Google that and find out.
Let us know.
Tell us.
Bosque. Sarah, what are you anticipating?
One of my most anticipated games of 2019 is In the Hall of the Mountain King.
Now, can it be anticipated if you've already enjoyed it and played it?
Yes,
Okay.
because I only played a prototype of the game.
Very true, very true.
A few things have changed, and one of the coolest things that have changed are the components.
I saw some of those
yes,
today. They looked amazing.
Yes, the Kickstarter is on right now. You can check that out from Burnt Island Games. It is designed by J.A. Comier and Graham Jans, and you are trolls digging into the mountain, building this path and setting up statues and building great halls, and you are able to hire trolls to come work for your team, and it does this really cool cascading pyramid to gain your resources.
I saw that too.
Love it. The components look super cool.
And you had Jay and Graham on the podcast.
Yeah.
So, is that going
Even
live?
more inside stories.
On Monday.
Monday.
So, you can listen to an interview with them, the designers of In the Hall of the Mountain King, on our Board Gaming podcast. That's coming live Monday.
Yeah. I'm
Very cool.
looking forward to that one. The artwork is super cool. The gameplay is awesome. Melissa, what
Well,
is your first up?
I'm excited about a series of games that Cosmos is going to be publishing. These are adventure games, and they're going to be similar to the Exits, except that these focus on storytelling and well, the telling and the discovery of the story, the mystery, and there's no time pressure. It's not like, oh, you only have 60 minutes to solve it. So these are going to be, I don't know if it's like choose your own adventure. They say it's 3 chapters in the story, and the people, you cooperatively can explore areas, talk to people, look for clues, combine items, and that there are different paths you can take. There are different conclusions that you can reach into these stories, and you don't destroy anything, so it is...
So it's totally different than their Exit series.
Right.
Does that seem more puzzly and you destroy things? It seems like they're just going a totally different direction with this series.
Yeah, they have 2 versions announced so far, and that's Monochrome Inc., and it's a mission to break into a research facility. And the other one is The Dungeon, where you wake up in a prison cell in the Middle Ages and you have no memory of how you got there and what's happening. And then these are designed by Matthew Dunstan and Phil Walker Harding. So some names that might be familiar. That's the adventure games from Cosmos, and they say they take about 75 minutes to play. Really excited about those. I love mysteries.
That sounds fun.
Cool. Thank you, Gamer Ghost. Apparently, a Bosque is a thicket of bushes.
All right, there we go.
Sounds good to me. I'll buy that.
It could be totally made up, and we don't know.
That's the next game we're going to play. Make up the definition.
And maybe as we're talking about our anticipated games, we could hear what their anticipated games are.
Send them our way. We'd like to.
Yeah.
What do you got, Kevin?
So I thought for my first one, I would like to talk about Wingspan for my most anticipated game of 2019.
What? Kevin, you told me I couldn't talk about it. You stole it. That was what I wanted to talk about.
So technically, I think we all said at the beginning that we can't put this on our anticipated games list since we all have a copy of it. So it can't be anticipated if it's already here.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people
next game. Get the
haven't played it.
You
All
can
right,
have
Katie's
the box
turn.
by
I'll get the whole box.
No. So the game I am interested in is from Final Frontier Games. They put out games like Cavern Tavern, Rise of Nobility, Robin Hood and the Merry Men. I'm always interested in what their next game is, and this is Coloma, and this is set in the Old West, and I'm really interested in it because it's worker placement, and you're doing things like you would do in the Old West, and going to the trading post, going to hotels, getting gold in the gold mine, fighting outlaws and stuff like that. So I'm interested in playing Coloma from Final Frontier Games.
I'm glad to see the Miko expanding into Western frontiers.
I know, because he does a lot of fantasy, right? And he's done, of
Vikings.
course,
monsters,
Vikings, and he's done
Knights.
sci-fi. So this is
What's left? What
Yeah,
there's
and
one.
is this game coming to Kickstarter?
This game will be on Kickstarter February 20th
Oh, it's coming
from Final Frontier Games. The copy, we are going to be doing a preview video and a live playthrough video February 18th
with sound.
With sound on our channel here, so you can look forward to that. So, Katie, you have a second one?
I do. So I'm also looking forward to Lord of the Rings, Journeys Through Middle Earth.
Okay.
Woo! No, Journeys in Middle Earth.
Or in
I knew
Middle
I was gonna say it wrong.
I was almost going to take this one from you.
Okay. Well,
So you can
Kevin, you
pronounce
can't
it.
steal all the ones
I
I
know.
wanted to. Okay. But this is an adventure game. It's one of those where you choose a character, you have stats. It's cooperative. That's another thing I really like about games. Yes. So it's going to be cooperative. And it's also 1 to 5 players, and it works with an app, which is fun. Ryan and I have a couple of games that that you play that way, and I assume that in this app they're going to be playing like for encounters and the bad guys, and but so that's kind of interesting that you can play as a single player and you can work through these different adventures. So there'll be you'll be exploring these different areas in Middle Earth and fighting orcs, and I think it's going to be really interesting. They also have some really neat. The stats are kind of interesting. I saw things like wit and agility, and do you remember what some of the other ones were?
Wisdom, might.
Yeah, there's some interesting ones. And they were talking about how like you can play like Gimli and have like your axe that you play with, and you're going to be better at fighting, or you can play as one of the hobbits, but you won't necessarily need to be protected because you'll be able to do a lot more hiding in the shadows and a lot more like
Hobbity things.
yeah, I was gonna say like
Smoking pipes.
you can your interactions are better.
Lemon
So
teas.
it almost sounds like kind of a light RPG kind of
Interesting.
game. So anyway, Ryan and I are into that already. So.
It sounded a little bit like Mansions of Madness.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, it is fantasy. Flight is.
So I know they did a really good job with their app for
Mhm.
Mansions of Madness. Melissa and I really enjoyed the scenarios that you can do, just all the different things you can do. Since it's someone, you're not having someone like GM it.
Yes.
So it's sort of.
So
It
you're
makes it
waiting
fun.
for one person to turn into Boromir and betray the party. Or-
What?
No. All right, but that's
Unpopular.
pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right.
Another game that I'm excited about is Kingsburg, the dice game. Kingsburg, the first edition, was one of the coolest games I've ever played.
And also,
I
I remember
dice
that.
game.
Whenever people ask me,
Yeah, that's true. It's a
what's your
dice
favorite
It's already
game?
a dice
It's,
game.
it's not necessarily my answer, but it's one of the first things that comes to mind. Kingsburg's a great game. The dice game doubles down on the dice aspect of it. It simplifies some of the advisors, so there's fewer advisors out there. There's fewer buildings to interact with, and everything's just a lot more dicey. I'm not entirely sure how things are going to play, but it looks like it could be pretty cool.
Kingsburg's in my top 10, and I'm pretty intrigued about this maybe shorter version of it.
Yeah, I don't think they're going away from the original Kingsburg. This isn't going to replace that. It's just coming alongside it and being the dice game. But I've seen people talk about it both ways, as if like, oh, this is just how Kingsburg is now.
Oh.
The Kingsburg
I
Killer.
don't
Like-
know about that.
Is it like
Do you think the
bang
box
and bang
is
dice?
like
Yeah, I think
full-size
so.
box, or is it like dice-size box? Most dice
I think it's a smaller
games
box.
end up being smaller.
Probably like
Yeah.
railroading size.
Oh, that team?
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
not. Who knows?
I think it's
Okay.
slightly smaller, but
Interesting. I'm
Cool.
curious to see
Yeah.
that one. Yeah, I'm
What-
a Kingsburg fan as well.
yeah. What else do you got, Will?
The other game I was kind of looking at was called Folding Space.
Folding
What?
space. I've heard
like
about this one.
Tesseracts.
Maybe, kind of.
Oh
You
my
know, like
goodness.
in Doctor Strange, when like the world turns sideways and stuff.
Yeah.
For real, in a board game.
Oh,
Maybe.
What?
I don't know. Hopefully this video will play because I got a video of it from Maple Games, which displays what is really cool about this
Oh,
game.
it's not
Is it
playing.
gonna play? No, you went. I think it is. It's a 2 to 6 player game. It's from designer Alan Moon and Bobby West, so that's a cool team up.
Yeah.
And then Vincent Dutrait is doing the artwork, which is very cool. And it's like a bidding game. You are trying to get those resources. It looks like it's not playing, which is making me really sad because
This
the
is
way
an image, and
Right.
you did an image of it.
I don't know what it is.
Oh, wow.
It should be a video, but it may not be translating well from my computer. The cool thing is this is one of those infinitely folding boards.
Okay.
And I don't know.
Yeah, it
I
looks
don't know.
like
Look it up on the internet. I don't know how to describe it, but basically like the top folds over, and when it folds over, then you can fold it this way, and then when you fold it that way, you can fold it again. So it just keeps folding forever and ever and ever.
It reminded me of
Ryan
those,
made one of those.
things that you make the origami and
Oh,
Cootie
yeah.
catchers.
yes, no, and you're kind of
Yeah, similar.
Yeah.
But it's cooler than
Yeah.
that. It is. That's a similar idea.
Is
but
it just a rectangle?
I think it's like a big square. Like it's more like a T, I guess. I don't know. And like
Oh.
the two top wings can fold in and make it a
Is
rectangle.
it a hexaflexagon?
That's what it is.
That's
Sure.
excited.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know, but it's something you can fold and fold and fold and fold
Correct.
and
Yeah.
fold and fold.
And I've seen it
you've
before.
seen different things,
Right.
which
A different combination pretty much
Yeah.
every time you do it, like 8 times or I don't know whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty
I've
cool.
seen those.
I've seen those. I've seen them in marketing materials before, like the
Mhm.
company that specializes in folding and boxing or whatever. So to see that incorporated into a board game seems like it's got some potential. I'm
Cool.
definitely
Wow.
interested in checking that one out.
Cool.
Sarah, what are you looking at?
Another game I am looking forward to this year is Patchwork Doodle.
What?
don't tell
It's,
Larry.
Don't tell Larry.
Oh, yeah.
Larry the Apprentice. Sorry.
Oh,
Larry
the
the
apprentice.
See what it's all about.
Well, maybe he's grown up enough that he will like patchwork now that he's an apprentice.
Maybe. Yeah, so if you
Maybe.
don't get that inside joke, you can check out one of our podcast episodes where Larry the Apprentice trashes Patchwork.
I can't believe he
and
did that.
Melissa and I died a little bit inside when we heard his words.
So what's unique about Doodle?
Doodle, you will be having a 9x9 grid that you will be adding, you'll be filling in,
Drawing your
drawing
own
your
patchwork,
own
basically.
little patchwork.
Yeah, that's
things.
cool.
I love drawing, and doodling. So all these roll and write games that have come out. No, actually that's true. Not a fan of sewing, but I'm okay with this theme. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing how they translate the original Patchwork into things I can actually draw on the board, all the different patterns.
Yeah, I think there might be cards that you flip over that shows the pattern that you're supposed to draw onto your board. Yeah.
Yeah, that should be fun.
Yeah, Melissa, what else?
I'm looking at, or not looking at, I'm excited about
and
anticipating Sierra West. This is from Board and Dice, and it is an action programming worker placement game, and it says it has a little bit of either deck building or hand management. And the interesting thing about it is that they say that there are 4 scenarios, and when you set up the game, you choose which scenario you want to play, and that's going to give you special cards that add new thematic content and alternative paths to victory.
Ooh,
so it's like, are
that.
you doing the fishing one? Are you doing the scenario that's gold mining? So the
that's
scenario,
like Firefly, where you have different paths to victory based on the scenario.
so you'll have cards that you put in, and they're these overlapping cards. So based on the setup, certain icons are going to be visible, and those are the actions. So as the cards change throughout, the actions change. And it just looked really interesting, the information that they have so far. And they say it's 40 to 60 minutes, so it's a pretty quick game for a Euro-style worker placement.
I had this one on my list, but you had it already, so.
Sorry,
It
Sarah.
definitely
It's
looks
okay.
like a
I'm
Melissa type of
Yeah.
game for sure.
Yeah.
They like targeted her.
Yeah, it's like, I don't care about the theme. It could be Old West, it could be this or that. Ooh, those look like cool mechanics. So, yeah.
There are cubes.
And workers
I
that
get to
move.
move them around.
All right, Kevin, how about you?
So, the Miko did my anticipated game for Coloma, illustrated that, and Final Frontiers is a good one. The next one I'm anticipating is actually from Pencil First Games, Ed Baraf's company, and he brought together a duo that I'm super excited about, Scott Caputo and Vincent Dutrait. Scott Caputo has designed Whistle Stop, and I really enjoy that tile-laying game with the trains, but Vincent Dutrait is probably my favorite artist.
Yeah?
The Miko's really up there, but Vincent Dutrait's like probably my number one illustrator for board games. So he's illustrating the 100 Tori, and really interested in this another set collection tile laying game that you're sort of creating paths in this game for in this Eastern theme. So yeah,
very cool. The audience has been a little quiet tonight. I know we've been doing a lot of talking. If you guys have some games that you're interested in, there's a bunch more that were on our list of things we were considering, and we just didn't have time to go through all of them.
Yeah.
Of course, Kevin has honorable mentions as well. But if you have some stuff that you're interested in chatting about, we'd love to know what your thoughts are and what games you're interested in this year. There's several on Kickstarter this week.
Yep.
There's just so many coming this year. It's going to be, I think 2019 is going to be another record-breaking year in the board game world, because everybody is asking us about ideas and wanting to playtest stuff with us, and it's very fun.
So one honorable mention is from another favorite designer of all of ours, is Emerson Matsuuchi.
Oh yeah.
He has done Century Spice Road and then Century Eastern Wonders, and the third one in the trilogy is finally here. It is Century the New World. Is that what it's called? I believe.
That looks good.
Woo!
Nailed it.
Boom. I don't know that much about it, but I think you can combine all the games together, or you can just play this by itself. So interested in this third in the line of this trilogy game. So
I think that's cool. Go America. I assume America's the new world. Are we still the new world, or is there like any more new
maybe
worlds?
I don't know.
Yeah, the next new world.
Legacy game. So I thought we'd share another legacy game that's on our honorable mention, and that is Clank Legacy from Renegade Game Studios. And I think Dire Wolf Incorporated is actually doing part of the work on that as well.
It's one of those games that I've not been able to get to the table. Like, I've played original Clank maybe twice.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever played the space one.
Clank in
Oh, we
Space.
have the space
Clank in
one.
Space. We can play it.
There's an underwater one too. I think I played that once.
Clank
And this is
Underwater.
the fourth.
I guess, yeah.
Cool.
Wow.
So,
Well, the underwater and the mummy are expansions for original
Okay,
Clank.
maybe that's one thing.
Um,
Cool. Looks like we're getting some feedback. Some people are interested in Reavers of Midgard. That one does look really cool.
You know
I gotta
who-
admit.
Oh,
Go for it, Melissa.
one of the special designer guests that is going to be at Tantrum Con, JB Howell, is the designer of Reavers of Midgard.
So that's gonna be cool. Who designed the original Midgard?
I don't
Champions of
know.
Midgard.
I don't
Not
know.
him.
Champions of
Really?
Midgard? I don't know who did that one.
That was someone else.
Are they related? Is it like a sequel or is it a totally different game?
It's a standalone game.
Still, it might be like
Is it
like a
same
successor
galaxy?
of some. Yeah.
Yeah, universe, galaxy, same galaxy.
Same.
It is on planet Earth.
Same world.
And it's
Fake Earth.
Vikings.
Somebody likes the Sierra West idea. I'm also interested in the Lord of the Rings game, and I like that the combat is diceless.
Yeah.
I'm usually a diceless fan as well. Role player Tale. Oh, is that an expansion too? Role player? No,
It's
Lockup. A role player Tale.
Lock up. It's a newer game in that world.
In the
Oh,
role player
cool.
world.
There's the
Okay, cool.
There's
cartographer one.
actually two coming. Yep.
and
Two different games in
Oh,
that
cool.
world coming. Cartographer and the.
Have you guys played role player? It's fun. I don't know that we own it. Did any of us own it?
No.
I think I know.
It's cool. Yeah.
We'll have to talk.
That's
to
one of the
I
ones
keep
I played
seeing
at
it. I
Dice
haven't
Tower.
gotten a chance.
It was. I enjoyed it. That was a really good one.
We'll have to talk to Keith about that. Keith
Uh,
Pacheco.
All the new scenarios coming to Chronicles of Crime. Yeah, I think we're all
Yeah.
excited about that.
Yes. Yes.
yes.
So Vincent Dutrait is actually illustrating another game that is on our honorable mention list from Green Couch Games. I actually don't know anything about the game, but I just see a little hint of a picture that was posted on Green Couch's Facebook page. So looking forward to that one.
Somebody asked, when are we going to do another 360 video?
Oh, wow.
Well-
Those are hard. Those
Yeah.
are so hard. I was going to say we're getting better at this live stuff. I don't know if that's really true. Doing another 360 would be fun, though. We need
The
to...
problem is the quality, the HD quality just wasn't there.
Well, there's a
they
lot
could-
of problems. One is you can't edit it well, so you
Right.
pretty much have to do it live. Like, you can't mess up because editing it is terrible. The files are insane huge.
Yeah.
Technology will catch up someday.
Maybe in a few years when everything's like that.
Yeah.
So-
A couple other people like the Reavers of Midgard thing. Somebody said, of course, Unsolved Mysteries. We just talked about that on our Kickstarter as well.
Mhm.
Not Kickstarter, podcast.
Yep.
Is that's coming out next Monday, right?
Coming out Monday.
Did you talk about that one, Kevin?
I did.
What was the down low on that?
So and there's a preview video that I did as well.
Oh, cool.
Basically, you are controlling some people in this mystery theme.
Yeah, the scenario we did was an asylum.
Yeah, asylum, and you're trying to escape the asylum, and you're rolling dice to complete cards and going through the storyline. So trying to escape this. Ours was escaping asylum. So.
Planet of the Apes. I feel like did we already play that?
So Planet of the Apes is actually was delayed in their Kickstarter,
Okay.
and it's actually coming out February 28th. So you can look forward to the Planet of the Apes Kickstarter from WYSIWYG, I believe, is the name of the company.
Pandemic Legacy Season 3? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's coming.
actually.
We have to play season 2.
Yeah,
I know.
we do need
We're
to do
so
that.
behind. I
So
really like season 1.
Yeah,
we need to
that
get
was
on
fun.
that season 2.
another game on our honorable mention. Can you guys guess what it is?
Oh.
I know.
We decided that we couldn't put it on our top 2.
Okay, yep.
All right.
Got it.
Mhm.
Katie?
Having
The
to do
Hadal
the
Project.
water?
That's right. The Hadal Project. Now this box cover is actually old because this is back when it was part of the white cycle. It's now part of the blue cycle, which is the new revolution of the time stories scenarios. So, but it's that artwork that you see there is pretty cool, and it's the same illustrator. The Lukey, I think his name is. He did the Marcy case. Is doing the illustrations for all of the Hadal Project.
Have you guys gotten to see? So we said that we couldn't choose it. I don't know if you know why. It's because Kevin and Melissa actually wrote the scenario. We all chimed in a little bit, but
Yep.
they put together the vast
90%,
majority of the
yeah.
work. Have you gotten to see any of the artwork, or
Yes.
you just
Yes.
so you've been holding out on us?
Yes.
Knew it.
Yeah, they've sent some. Now the way that the blue cycle, the revolution.
They're still sort of reading us in on a lot of that,
Yeah.
and it's coming out at Gen Con, our scenario is, and it will be part of the initial sort of bringing this new story to the world at Gen Con. So
Neat.
You guys are cheating bringing your game, and I didn't get to bring in Gartenbau.
you can bring art now, that's fine. I don't have any pictures of it.
I'm experimenting with some art. Yeah, I should have.
Yeah.
I've got art for it. Experimenting doing some art for a game. I did Steam Court a while back, although I didn't do the illustration work. This time I'm playing with some other stuff from Fisher Heaton. They're bringing that one to
Yep.
Kickstarter soon.
Do we have
so.
any other comments?
keep that one up there. Yeah, there's a bunch more. Are my eyes the only ones good enough
Yeah.
to read these?
The cameras are in the way, for I can't see them.
Tang Garden?
Oh,
Isn't that
yeah.
right?
Yes.
No, I can't keep track of the ones
That's
I've
from
already played. as
Thundergriff.
Kickstarters.
We played a prototype of
Yes.
that.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to that. And Thundergriff is actually bringing another game called Iwari. I think that's how you say it. It's Iwari. I'm looking forward to that Kickstarter. We should get a prototype soon in the mail.
Medieval Realms. Do we know anything about that one?
That's should be on Kickstarter this week or next week.
Yeah, looks like that one's coming really soon. Life Form and Dominations? Is that 2 different games, or is that one game with a long name?
Domination's a different game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Life Form and Dominations, you're looking forward to that one. The redesign of Terra Prime
Okay.
and Chocolate Factory. I think we
Oh,
looked at
Chocolate
that
Factory. Chocolate Factory is coming on Kickstarter February 18th from
Alley Cat?
Alley Cat Games. Yeah. So it's got this cool conveyor system in it. I'm interested in seeing how that looks and how that works in the
Is
game.
that like a Willy Wonka kind of
Maybe?
theme?
Yeah, I don't know.
That would be fun.
I think it is like an actual like chocolate factory and you're making chocolate.
Actual chocolate.
Do you get to
Well,
like
So
that
I
would
was
be
so
awesome.
and then speeds up and then
Yeah.
We were talking to Alley Cat, and I saw on Facebook that they were actually talking about maybe the deluxe version has real chocolate in it.
What?
I don't know. It could just
I've
be
been
a
waiting for
rumor.
this.
One time playthrough with real chocolate. That
a
would be
true
amazing.
legacy game.
Yes,
That sounds like
yes.
I could be on board for that. Let's see what else is there.
Escape Plan.
That
and-
sounds cool. Do we know what that one is?
Escape Plan's a Vital Lacerda game.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it was on Kickstarter. It should be fulfilling sometime soon.
I wonder what
Ruth
the name of it.
Dawn of Kiev.
Yeah,
You
that's
guys
cool.
have played that one.
Does
The
the
prototype.
modern scenario have an expected release date? Does the I might not be reading that right.
Say that out loud.
Does the Madam scenario?
Madam.
Oh, Madam Scenario is one of the Time Story scenarios. It should have a release date in April, I believe is what I saw. An April release date in the U.S. So.
Yeah, and that's the last one of the white cycle of the time skillers.
And everything changes after that.
Whenever
I don't know what that means.
So, I got another honorable mention unless we have more comments.
Go for it.
Kevin.
I would say I have
How
one
do you
too.
have this
Okay.
many honorable mentions? Kevin, just choose some.
I'm just helping us out.
Okay.
You got one, Sarah?
I do. I don't know hardly anything about this game because there is not much information about it. It is from designer JB Howell. He'll be at Tantrum Con, so I'm hoping to get some inside information
It's not that
next week. And it is, I'm not sure if they're using the French pronunciation or the English pronunciation. It's either Papillon or Papillon.
one. I think it's Papillon. It's
Yeah.
what someone tried to tell me one time and I couldn't figure it out.
Okay.
That sounded really good.
Okay. It is a game about butterflies. It is a tile laying game. The tiles in the prototype kind of reminded me of what the tiles look like in Lanterns, where there are different colored areas and you are building your garden on your part of, or your area, worker area. And then on the board, there are these flowers that come up, and they're, on the prototype, they're raised up above
that's
the
cool.
board. And then there are little butterflies that you place on there that has some type of area control with it.
So we're going to see this at Tantrum Con.
I hope so.
No,
Yeah,
JP.
he has
better.
events that
Right.
he's
Yeah.
playing.
Legit.
So-
We're
So
gonna be over
come to Tantrum Con next week. Doesn't matter where you live, just come.
Yes.
Come to Tantrum Con, February 15th, 16th, and 17th. As you can
It's
see,
not
some
too
of the
late.
ladies are wearing Tantrum Con sweatshirts.
Swag. I got the new hats too. They just came in the mail.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're getting close, getting ready.
Your hair's actually sticking out the back of that
Is
hat.
it? Oh,
Like
it
out
is.
the
Look at
top
that.
of the whole holes.
You guys, are you ready for this? This is
Uh-oh.
the not hair gel Will.
Oh, wow.
I don't even know if I'm ready for this.
Put it back on.
James, I challenge you. Let's see the non-hair gel James.
Yeah.
So, I see On Mars.
On Mars, yeah. Escape Plan is delivering right around the time his next game is going to be on Kickstarter. On Mars. That sounds cool.
Yep.
Looking
So-
forward to On Mars. Yep, other people are excited about that one as well.
All right, last honorable mention that I know of
Yeah. Can we get that in
I'm
writing?
sure he's
Is
got.
that-
is a Days of Wonder game. And Days of Wonder usually does one game a year, and they usually do a really good job on the production, the game design, just the whole, everything that goes into the game. Last year they did The River, of course you're familiar with Ticket to Ride. This one is called Corinth, and I think they're capitalizing on the roll and writes because it is a roll and write game. and it is based off of, I heard, based off another game that we're familiar with called Yishpahan, that sort of mechanic with how the dice is rolled, and as you roll the dice, the same numbers that you roll go into different rows on the cards, and then as you play, I'm not sure exactly how you play, but I guess you're doing something with writing them down. So, yeah. Looking forward to Corinth from Days of Wonder.
This to me seems like an obvious mechanic that maybe it already exists, I don't know. But are there any roll and writes that also have like the Yahtzee mechanic incorporated? I feel like that whole like
Ganshan Clever.
roll and then re-roll the ones
Yeah,
you want
Ganshan
and
Clever
then whatever.
has a little bit of it. And then they have Dopplet So Clever that's coming out, the sequel to Ganshan Clever from Stronghold Games.
I had to try those ones out because that just makes sense to me. That needs to exist.
Yeah, I mean with Ganshan Clever, you have to pick one die each roll, but you then
about
get your
Yahtzee
whole
is
Okay,
too.
with that, as long as I'm getting some control over what ends up on the dice face rather than just having to puzzle them in. Give me the double power. Well, cool. I think that's pretty much it for us. I don't even know how long we've been online. It was fast and fun. We should obviously talk about TantrumCon for 5 minutes before we
And
hang
then our
up.
sponsor at the end.
And then our sponsor at the end. TantrumCon
Next week?
not this week, but it
It
feels
is
like
next-
it's this week.
Next week.
February 15th, 16th, and 17th.
Yes.
1 week away. Is today Thursday? It's exactly 1 week
We'll
away.
be setting up next week at this time.
Yes,
Yeah, if
we
you're
will.
There will
staying-
be people
Well,
playing
hopefully
games
we'll be done setting
at this
up.
time.
At this
in the week.
time, we will be done setting up. Hopefully, we'll be
Hopefully.
busting out a game to play
That's right.
before we fall asleep and get ready for the whole week.
Maybe one of these that we just mentioned.
Hopefully, yeah. So if you are coming, let us know. We'd love to hear that. That'd be awesome. If you're interested in more information, check out tantrumcon.com. It is next week. It's going to be in Spartanburg, South Carolina. It is at the Marriott, which is a really nice space. Like, I was really impressed that we could afford it. And we're excited. Badge sales are going pretty well. They've been climbing just
I
in the
know.
last
I
week.
actually didn't know we were over 300.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, what? We might hit 354.
Come on, 4. Yeah, 4 all the way.
Really?
I don't know. I hope so. I hope we hit 5. I don't know. Yeah, our swag is on sale as well, and I think our hotel is actually booked. I shouldn't say that. Come, you'll find a place to stay, I'm sure.
On the street.
Yeah, games are happening Thursday night. A little bit of open play. Our board game library has how many games in it?
Almost 1,000.
Almost 1,000 games in our board game library for our first year, which I'm pumped about. Play to wins. We've got those coming out our ears. Did you do a live
I
thing
did.
earlier?
So you can go on our Facebook.
Just did an unboxing.
Yeah, Tantrum Con event page. I did a live video on that.
Oh, okay,
So-
very cool. Yeah, stuff.
Facebook event.
A Facebook event. Yeah.
Donors and sponsors sending us stuff. We've got a packed exhibit hall. We're going to need more space next year because we had people asking us to get in and we were sorry that we ran out of room. Artist area, demo hall stuff. We've got, I don't even know, what else we got? A lot of stuff.
RPGs.
RPGs, yeah.
Yeah.
What are we playing, Ryan? Games?
Pathfinder.
Yeah, all
Pathfinder.
sorts of
Is there like
games.
Starfinder? What's it called?
There's a Starfinder. I think the RPG is primarily Pathfinder, but you might be able to get a Starfinder game in.
I think there's game scheduled. At least I saw a piece of artwork that I used in an email that I didn't know what I was doing. Teach me.
Yes, we
Cool.
will instruct you.
We will be teaching a bunch of games too. We've all got several sessions of Learn to Plays that we're doing games for. I think there's still a couple open slots in some of those. We've got media guests coming in. The Funkhausers are joining us. Rolling dice and taking names.
Yep.
Our VIPs will be there. Richard Lanius and JB Howley. We've been talking about. They'll
Yep.
be playing games. We're also like. I like to eat food a lot, and I had a lot to do with the planning of this event. So we've got a lot of food events. So pretty much every meal that you're there, you could be like playing a game while eating food. I know, I understand. I'm sorry for people who don't want
At
to
least
do
it's
that.
not Cheetos.
Right? No Cheetos. Although
Well,
we
as
do
long
have,
as they're
other
not
stuff.
your games.
And a lot of those will have giveaways afterwards, so you'll get a copy of the game. And some of those events are like as cheap as $5. So you get lunch, you get games that you can win.
Cool.
Some of those events are going to be really fun. Ryan and I are doing a Steam Court tournament thing to close it out with.
Cool.
All kinds of snacks. And that one's a free one. If there's any space left, you can sign up for that one. I'm excited. Anybody else
Yeah.
excited?
We're all
Very
excited.
excited.
It's also pretty late, though.
Wiping out. Farron is looking good over there. No crying. Way to go, lady.
Yeah.
Two thumbs up.
She's just staring at us like, what are you doing over there?
Come to me, mama. Well, cool. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We've had a blast. Again, shout out to our sponsor, Academy Games. Thank you guys for helping us put these videos together. We enjoy talking with about the stuff that we're having fun with. We very much enjoy talking with you guys. Look at all those other games that got mentioned. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. Pret-a-porter?
Oh yeah, that is a Portal Games game. Pret-a-Porter.
5th century games. I see you. I can't wait to see you guys at TantrumCon.
Chad's on watching us right now.
Hanging out. So cool stuff, you guys. I think we'll call it a night right there.
He's got a game called Kingswood coming out. I don't know that much about it, so I need to do some research.
Are we going to play it at TantrumCon?
I'm also hoping to play Winner Winner Chicken Dinner.
Okay. Chad, are you watching still, Chad? Where are you, Chad? Chad?
You probably responded and the delayed time thing just doesn't work.
Okay. Kingswood, tell us more about it. I'm looking forward to hearing more.
Cool. Well, we'll call it a night there. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Catch you next time.
Bye.